What's up with everybody? It's Mdog5. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be reacting to some horror stories. I wish it were like nighttime or some shit. But it's a school night and I'm not gonna be up late watching horror stories on a school night, my nigga, because I could be doing more productive things. But anyways, you see the shit is an hour and 47 minutes. Obviously, I'm not gonna be sitting here for an hour and fucking 47 minutes watching some shit. But just a couple of videos we're going to be reacting to. So if you guys end up enjoying this video, make sure to drop a like and all that extra shit. Let's get into it. I need some water, bro.
I woke up, startled by the sudden sound of thunder. Damn, that scared the shit out of me. I took off the blanket.
I'm going to highlight this shit.
And at that moment, I got a sudden, severe headache. I fell to the floor and rolled, strongly holding my head. And the memories of the day popped up in my head.
What?
The same sound of thunder like that day. The rain was beating hard against the windows, as if it was about to break them. I woke up in the middle of the night and walked to the kitchen.
Rain does not beat that hard.
At that time, I heard a faint sound, which was really weird.
That was not faint.
Like someone's mouth was suddenly gagged while screaming.
Pause.
But I couldn't hear properly because it was soon drowned out by the sound of rain. I drank up a glass of water, and all of a sudden I saw something standing at the front door of the next house, which was visible through the window.
This does not make sense.
With a flash of lightning, I found a vague silhouette of a human who was getting rained on without an umbrella. Thinking if I saw things, I tried clearly to see what it was, but I couldn't because it was too dark. After a while, lightning flashed once again, and I saw a woman and a man dancing together. I dropped the glass on my big toe and groaned with pain. When another lightning stroke again, I saw a woman dancing with somebody. She was grinning from ear to ear. However, the man dancing with her was lifelessly swung around, just like a dummy by the woman. As it was kind of creepy, I checked the door to make sure it was locked. Then I turned my eyes to them again to clearly see what they were doing. At that moment, her eyes suddenly turned to me. I got startled and immediately hid myself. I was not sure whether she got aware of me
This is the fakest fucking story I've ever heard.
Or she was just looking in this direction. When I looked back,
this did not happen. I guarantee you.
They were gone.
They were gone, huh? This did not fucking happen.
This is not funny. Please. Muttering in a low voice, I looked around a bit nervously, then went back to my room. Next morning, it was noisy outside the house next door. There were several police officers, and I found the man next door was found dead. One of the police came to me and asked me if anything had happened to me last night. So I said,
"What?
I saw a man and a woman were dancing in front of the house."
They would not ask if anything happened to you last night. They would ask if you saw anything or did you hear anything. Come on, my nigga. This shit fake as hell.
The police showed me a picture of his dead body and asked me if he was the man I saw last night. In the picture, all of his joints were terribly broken and twisted, and the body was horribly loaded by rain. It was even hard to recognize, but it certainly looked like him. Then the police showed me another picture of a woman who really looked like the one I saw last night. She was the dead man's wife, who already died 3 years ago.
What?
As far as I know, she had a severe mental illness while she was alive. Bullshit. She already died 3 years ago. But how come?
This is the most cliche fucking shit. Like, this is a combination. This is a culmination of, like, all different kinds of horror stories, my nigga. Like this is what happens when you sit here and listen to Creeps McPasta or Mr. Nightmare, and then you think of a story, and like, come on.
I was extremely confused.
Like, oh, you saw somebody who died like 5 years ago type shit. And then you hear someone and they had a severe mental illness. It turns out, like, bro, come on.
A few days later, the police came to my house again and said, last night, another man living across the way died, completely soaked by rain, just like the previous case. Did you see or notice anything strange last night? I was shocked, speechless. The police continued. Take care of yourself on a rainy day, especially when it's with thunder and lightning. Nobody can ensure your safety. I gulped with...
Okay.
Fear. It was so loud the police might hear it. Since then, there have been a number of witnesses telling that they're seeing the dancing woman night after night. Even there was a rumor that never make eye contact with the dancing woman at night, because several more men went missing in the village
so
after that
you're all
day.
good. If you see one,
The
just
police
fucking
conducted a large-scale investigation,
Look at
but
Luke
they
Cage.
got nowhere. And one day, on a rainy night, I heard someone knocking at my door. I walked up to the door and looked outside through the window. I saw a woman in a white dress standing in front of my door, completely soaked with rain.
You're lying.
I felt my heart suddenly thumped in the chest, because she was dancing alone, holding a knife. I shouted, "Fuck off! I don't like dancing!" Frightened, I missed my footing while shrinking back from her and fell backward, and I was still seeing her silhouette dancing alone through the window.
This is the fakest story ever.
Then the silhouette disappeared, and fortunately, nothing happened that
Okay,
night.
the ghost left when you said that
moved
they
out
were
from
going to
that
call the
house.
police.
6 years have passed since then. I haven't heard any news about that village and the woman anymore.
Nope, we're going to see it at
But
the
even
end
now,
as an Easter
I
egg.
completely lock all the doors and windows of my house when it rains and lightning strikes. Sometimes it feels like I can hear her laughing from the yard, or I see her shadow dancing frantically. Well, all this might be just hallucinations. But nevertheless, I didn't look out through the window to identify that. Until today, I still have no idea who she was.
Okay, can we end this story?
Just one thing I can't ever forget is her dancing. Looking back on it now, maybe that was not dancing, but stabbing the man frantically with a knife.
About to fall asleep over here. True scary woman
My name
horror
is
story.
Sophia, and this happened in March 12, 2019. I was hanging.
What was I doing that day? I bet you I could find out what I was doing that day. Where's my phone? I'll figure it out later.
Out with my friend Sean at a park one day, since it was his birthday. We were waiting for two of our friends, Drew and Covey, to get to the park. About 30 minutes later, they showed up, bringing some snacks. We were planning on having a picnic, and the park there was the perfect place to have one. We ate, drank a couple of bottles of soju, played some board games, and caught each other up with our lives. It was getting dark. Covey checked her phone, and it was around 6:39 p.m., so we decided to pack our stuff and leave.
How do you remember everything so specifically? March 12th, 2019, 6:20, whatever the fuck, p.m.
As soon as we were done, we started walking to go home. You see, our houses are right beside one another, and we've known each other since we were all kids. Putting that aside, we were now walking on a dimly lit road with a couple of houses here and there. I saw a woman dressed in white with black medium-length hair. The weird part is, I could tell she was low-key bruised, even in the distance, and had a hunched back. I
took a picture on March 12th, 2019, but I don't have a picture of me. This was March 14th, 2019, but it's a sexual picture, so I won't show you.
My friends about the strange woman. Maybe she needs help? Sean said, unsure. Come on, it's getting late, Drew said. Yeah, I agree with Drew. It's not safe around here. Covey laughed nervously. But what if she really does need help? I said back. I turned around to see the woman still there,
Nobody is
hunched
helping
over
that
like
bitch.
she was eating something.
I promise
Sean
you.
and I agreed to
Let
approach
the
the woman
police help her.
while the other two, let's just say they were holding each other's hands because they were scared.
I'm about to fall asleep.
As we got close to the woman, we had this uneasy feeling.
Mistake number
and we
2.
smelled something that was rotting. Sean tapped the woman
Are
and
you
said,
insane?
Miss, are you okay? Silence.
I'll leave that bitch alone.
The next thing I saw still scares me to this day.
It still scares me to this day.
The woman turned around, and we saw a big bloody scar on her forehead down to her chin. And the worst part is, I saw a little girl's body lying on the ground with no intestines, blood gushing out of her stomach.
You didn't notice that when you were walking up to the bitch? These stories are fake, my nigga.
Was eating her intestines. I screamed so loud, and Sean grabbed my wrist and started running towards my other friends.
Bro, and the thing is that they're trying to make it sound as real as possible.
Their hands and started running as fast as they could, with us following and the crazy woman running to us maniacally.
Come on, my nigga. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this.
To a hospital to meet my uncle. My cousin was with him. My cousin was at the time 13 years, and his name was James.
Old?
He was my best friend. Time passed and it got dark.
So he dies in this story.
Me and my cousin started playing around the bar. After a little bit of time, we saw a man in the middle of his 40s, dressed in an old dirty black suit. He was just standing there.
What the fuck is this sound effect?
Looking at us. I got freaked out, and we ran back to our parents. Then me and my cousin implored our parents to let us do a sleepover at James' house. My uncle accepted, and after my uncle talked to my mother, she accepted too. We were so excited because we wanted to stay up late and tell horror stories while eating sweets. We got to James' house, but James' uncle had to go buy some food from McDonald's for us. It was 1 a.m., and we started telling horror stories. After the first horror story that my cousin told, I got freaked out, and we started playing games on his phone. After 10 minutes, we heard a loud noise that was coming from the kitchen. The window from the kitchen was destroyed. Someone broke that window with a stone. We got to the kitchen, and what I saw is still giving me nightmares. It was the man that was watching us near the hospital. He was in the kitchen with a large kitchen knife, just looking at us. Now I saw his face. He was dirty and had 2 scars on his face. He had his eyes wide open and he was smiling, but at the same time he was looking nervous. He looked insane. After 10 seconds, the man said something that gave me the chills. "Do you want to feel my knife?" At that moment, I was frozen in fear. Then James said, "No." Then the man got James and stabbed him in the stomach. He fell on the floor. Then the man asked me the question, "Do you want to feel my knife?" He approached me, and then because of the blood that was bleeding from James, and because of the fear, I vomited on the man. And after a couple of seconds, as he was cleaning his costume, he screamed at the top of his lungs. And then my uncle got in the house and stabbed the guy with the car keys. And then he punched the man very hard in his face, and he passed out. Then he saw...
What did I get myself into? Nigga, I'm doing homework. Fuck all this. If you enjoyed those stories, yourself.